everyone, and welcome back to another video. So I am in the same boat as many of you out there when it comes to travel and COVID-19, in that I can't. So I've been doing a lot of local exploration, and that's what I wanted today's video to be about. Local photography locations, exploring my own backyard, and how you can too. Alright, so I'm just at Mission Creek Greenway right now, and my fiance Max and I moved back to Kelowna about 4 months ago. And before we moved back to Kelowna, I made a promise to myself that I was going to explore more. So my travel and landscape photography really helps with that. So once a week I try to explore a new location, and all of the locations that I visit and love and get a lot of photos of end up on my website at beautifullywander.com under the Okanagan section. This is a section of my website that needs a little bit more love, and I want to work on a little bit more in the coming months here. But basically I created the Okanagan section to document and share all of the photography locations throughout the Okanagan, because whenever I plan a trip somewhere, so when we went to Greece, when we went to Denver, when we went to Vancouver, I like visiting photographic locations where I can get travel photos or landscape photos. That's what a lot of our itinerary is when we travel, both things that my fiance would be interested in, but also photographic locations for me. And so I created it so I can be of service to maybe other photographers or other people visiting the area that also might want some ideas of where to go for photography. Alright, so I came out to Mission Creek Greenway to get some beautiful winter photos by the creek, and so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go home, get into some PJs and get something hot to drink, and then I want to take you with me on how I find sort of photography locations in the Okanagan to visit, as well provide some tips on how to kind of do your own sort of local travel photography in the absence of travel, in a sense. Alright, so I am back home after doing some photography at Mission Creek Greenway. I've got my laptop in front of me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I like to find new places to photograph here in the Okanagan, but this could really be applied anywhere. Alright, so one of the ways that I like to discover where to kind of go for my photography, just places to explore and check out, is just by going to Google Maps. So what I'll do is I'll just pull up Google Maps and I'll look at sometimes the area that I want to do more exploration in, just to see if there's any parks or beaches in that area. And so when I was doing a lot of exploration around sort of the southeast area of Kelowna, I just kind of scrolled through this area of Kelowna. So you can see there's Gyro Beach, you have Rotary Beach. If you keep going, there's Sarson's Beach Park that I haven't been to. So I'll just keep bordering it, and then here you can see, if you zoom in, you have like Cedar Creek Park, Lebanon Creek Regional Greenway, which I haven't checked out either. I was supposed to go there in the summertime, but I ended up going, I think, to Cedar Creek Park instead because of the sunset. But you also have like Lebanon Park. If you keep going, there's Bertram Creek Regional Park. So I oftentimes will just go and see what kind of parks or beaches are in the area, and then if I want to get a sense of the different sort of terrain, I'll just go into satellite just to see what it looks like from that point of view as well. When I'm trying to figure out like what the parking situation is like, I like going into satellite. I actually don't go into Street View very often, to be honest. I don't even know how to get to it from here. So but what I also will do is I'll click on the location, and then sometimes here people post photos of the area, and so I'll kind of just go in and I'll flip through all of the different photos that somebody has taken at that location, just to see what the area looks like, and if I like it, And a lot of times this is where I get a lot of my inspiration on where to go and sort of prioritize where to go based off of, I've mostly only explored the Kelowna area and specifically this southeast area because I've been to Bertram Creek, Cedar Creek Park, Gyra Beach, Rotary Beach. So I've really hit this area right here, but I haven't really hit, I started exploring South Kelowna a little bit more. Checked out Harvest Golf Club not too long ago. I really want to get to Scenic Canyon Regional Park because of what they call Layer Cake Mountain, I think is what they call it. I've been to Mission Creek, City Park. I don't spend a lot of time on Knox Mountain, to be honest, but I really want to start exploring West Kelowna more. Specifically, you know, Bear Creek Regional Park. There's actually a park down here, Calamore Regional Park, that I really want to go to. And a lot of times when I look at these photos too, I look at if there's any unique patterns, textures, or stuff like that that would interest me. So I actually really like this rock here. And when it comes to this as well, I also look at if I'm going at sunset or sunrise because of the way, you know, whole Kelowna, West Kelowna is set up. If I want sunset photos, I try to stick along this edge just because sunset's gonna set behind West Kelowna. And if I want sunrise, to be honest, I don't go out for sunrise too often, but I think I'd rather go out to somewhere on the West Kelowna side just because the sunrise is gonna happen behind Kelowna here. But this is just one of the ways that I like to figure out where to go for my travel photography, places to explore, or looking for something new to do. And I didn't mention that sometimes I will go into Google Earth on my phone. I don't think I have Google Earth on my laptop here, so I normally go onto Google Earth on my phone just to kind of get a different perspective as well. And occasionally I do find good inspiration on Instagram and Facebook. I hear a lot of people say that that's how, you know, they find good like things to do or where to travel to or like places to visit is through like geotagging on Instagram and like Facebook. But I don't find typically a lot of inspiration in those places. My go-tos are just checking out Google Maps myself or Google Earth. Pinterest, actually. I get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. And if you follow me on Pinterest under Beautifully Wander, you will see I have a massive travel section. Alright, so I want to touch on how you can explore locally more. So before I moved away to Fort McMurray, I'll admit I did not explore Kelowna very much. You know, I didn't appreciate Kelowna like I do now, and I think it's pretty common for us all to get into that headspace that we live here, so we don't have to explore. I don't know if that makes sense. So like I said earlier, when I was moving back to Kelowna, I made this promise to myself that I was going to explore more and that I was going to live life more fully. And I am pretty happy to report that at 4 months of living back here in Kelowna, I have pretty much kept to my promise. So I want to give you a few tips on how you can essentially be that tourist in your own city, explore locally more for your travel photography. Alright, so my first tip for you is to make a promise or a commitment to yourself that you're going to explore more, or you're going to do this thing where you visit a new location that you've never been to once a week. Just make some sort of a goal or commitment to yourself that you're going to do this. My second tip is to make a list of all of the places that you have told yourself or you've said, you know, you're going to visit or you're going to visit next year. So make a list of all of these places. So some of the places that were on my list were the art gallery. Another was going on wine tours. Before I left for Fort McMurray, I never went on a wine tour, which the Okanagan is famous for, and visiting a pumpkin patch. That's also something that I've always said I wanted to do when it came to autumn, but I never really did it. And so basically I made a list of all of these things that I wanted to do, kind of like a bucket list. But week by week I would tackle the list, and I like to document a lot of those adventures over on my Instagram stories. My last tip is work towards something bigger. So like maybe come up with a project for yourself that this whole local exploration, this whole local travel and getting out in the community and trying new things is part of this bigger photography project that you are working on. And I oftentimes find having this project also can kind of help provide that motivation when I'm not feeling like it to just go out and do some local exploration. All right, everyone, so that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe, and also comment down below if you are doing a lot of like local exploration of your city or hometown and like places that you've visited, and I'll see you in the next video.